Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tideshift Gaming. We're a new community driven on bringing even more content to you, the StarCraft community. If you'd like to have the chances of your own game being cast, join our Discord or send your replays to tideshiftgaming@gmail.com. And I want to mention that we have a pretty nifty tournament coming up for 4300 MMR and below, so come check it out. There's more links in the description. Alright, let's get into the game here. We've got a Masters level game at around 4300 MMR, coincidentally, between 11 and FireKlaw, so I'll introduce them. At the top left here of Babylon LE, we've got in the red 11 representing Zerg.
And on the bottom right hand side, we have FireKlaw representing Clan SC Swarm.
Nice, very nice. I'm pretty stoked about this game. Both players, as we've seen before, showcase like a good amount of skill, nice amount of mechanics, and we didn't really get an example of unit control that game. Hopefully this time we will, but both players very, very solid on their macro.
Oh, for sure. In terms of macro, I believe they had a relatively similar worker count for most of that game. Bases, obviously, Zerg was ahead on bases as they should be in a PvZ, but everything else was looking pretty even actually for quite a while. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing a competitive game here.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, this is the third game in a best of three series between these two. We're not sure about the results of the series. Everything is kind of blank to us, and it's our first time watching the replay. So hopefully, we can share excitement to you watching it on YouTube in the way that we're kind of experiencing it here between ourselves. Alright, and the scouting probe actually goes down very early. I'm not sure if FireKlaw's intention was there, maybe to see what timing
Yeah.
the adrenal glands was starting, but we're
We
starting them all
have
missed.
a gateway coming down, so there's no tech right away from FireClaw, it seems. This is going to be pretty interesting. Looks like gateway's out, and we have a really fast layer from the Zerg right now. I mean, it's a 230 layer. Speed is halfway done. This is going to be a really interesting build out of the Zerg.
Yeah, it does look pretty interesting. And on the one gas, what do you think we can expect from that?
I'm thinking some sort of massive link flood if it's just off one gas, but at the same time, it could be that 11 might be making more gases soon, perhaps, and going into some other tech. Maybe he might have enough gas for like a Hydrogen. He definitely has enough minerals for a Roach Warren. Uh, yeah. To be honest, I really don't have. I really don't have a clue what 11 is going to do after his layer is done.
Alright, let's keep our eyes open
Looks like we do
here.
have a Stargate though coming out from FireKlaw. And FireKlaw actually did recall all the adept that was trying to get into the Zerg space and trying to scout around for some info, but 11 held it down with some lings, and I don't think FireKlaw has any idea of what's going on in the main really.
It's true, and we get to see what the tech switch was here for 11. It seems like he wanted the lair to perform a little bit of a lane drop to get past that wall, so maybe in the prior games he realized the wall was present, and this is going to be a good move, I'd say, especially with only 2 units at the main base.
Yep. Having said that, I really like FireClaw's idea to go for the other Void Ray again, because with the Void Ray you get like some defensive capability and you can deny the Overlord scouting, but a Void Ray may not help you that much against the Link Flood that's in his main.
Yeah, luckily for FireKlaw, though, his battery just finished in the main.
Birth successful.
But he has no battery near his probes in the natural, so he opts to run those back to the main here to protect himself. And yeah, it seems like FireKlaw is going to be able to hold this off fairly easy. Let's take a look at the workers' loss count. We've got 5 lost so far.
Yeah, FireClaw is actually going to be able to hold this off fairly easy, and he's up 7 workers, and the Zerg is still on 2 bases, so 11 is definitely behind here.
Indeed, maybe he's trying to catch up now. He's reacting to the Void Ray presence on the field. He added a Hydra Den, which is what we were looking for, and the gases are now in play as well. 4 gas is going to be pretty decent and capable at holding what is currently on the field. But what is coming up next? Looks like more gators for FireKlaw. Looking to
And we
remain
all,
defensive.
yep, and we also have a depth glaze coming up. It's about a third of the way done. So I'm going to guess that this is going. So I'm going to guess that FireKlaw is attempting a two base all in, probably off 6, 7, maybe even eight gateways, and he's really going to try to put the pressure on 11 right here. And and FireKlaw still has a 6 worker lead. So scratch it all in. He just started third base, which I find kind of amusing. But so this is going to be pretty interesting. Glaive the deaths, but it's not going to be an all in. So I'm wondering what FireKlaw will go into after the adepts have been made.
Well, it seems like it's a pretty decent way to fight the Zerg. It's not going to hold up too well against the fast attack speed of the Hydras, but you know he'll be able to pull 11 apart if he's able to kind of shade anywhere into the main, natural, and third in between those bases. That'll buy him the time to have a true tech switch as long as he is proactive and sends his units out soon, because right now there's a little bit of lull in what the opponent knows about each other. The information's not really too tight between them.
It looks like 11 is actually going for an all-in. He completely stopped drone production, and he's just making lings and hydras and overlords right now.
Oh, and they're all completely bypassing the adepts. The adepts saw a few lings and opt to kind of run away. Oh, there we go. Now FireKlaw sees that there's more units coming on the field.
And it looks like 11 is going to start rushing in there with the lings, but without hydra support, these lings are going to fall to the adepts pretty fast.
I agree. They're opting as more of a kind of just a forward scout there on what's going on with
Oh, and we actually have a Dark Shrine coming down from FireKlaw right now. It's about halfway done. If FireKlaw warps in DTs, he can easily hold up the Hydras and the Lings because 11 does not have any overseers at all. So he has no mobile detection. If FireKlaw makes DTs, he'll hold and he'll have a winning, and he'll be ahead in the game.
It's true. And one thing for 11's favor here is there's no proxy pylons, there's no war prism on the battlefield, as far as I can tell at least. Yeah, we do have a DT and Immortals coming out, so no war prisms. These DTs are going to have to run across the map to get their job done, which we see now.
In terms of upgrades, we actually don't have any. We have Hydra Speed, the Muscular Augments, we have Link Speed, we have Warp Gate, and we have Resonating Glaives for the Adepts. So we actually don't have any attack or armor upgrades from either player.
Oh, this could be a bit of a mistake sending the one DT over, but 11's kind of queuing on his units. He might have picked up on something, and no, it doesn't look like. So that DT is in the main now. Gets spotted by the Spore Crawler, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, 11 has spotted that.
Either way, though, this is a pretty nice scout from FireKlaw, though, to be able to see the infestation pit building and to see that the lurker den is almost done.
Dude, the second DT comes in, he's going to be able to snipe a queen. He's got a few workers out of that, like 3 or 4, I think it was. So just a little bit of pressure to kind of keep 11 on his toes. If we look across the map here at FireKlaw, building up...
FireKlaw is in a completely winning position here economically. He's actually up roughly 15 workers, 70 versus 56 for the Zerg. So right now it's kind of up to 11 to sort of get his macro game on and to generate you know the usual 80, 90 drones that we see Zergs usually take at this level.
It's true. I wonder why we're seeing such a low count. Maybe 11 was actually trying to go for that all-in that you were mentioning. The lurkers, a nice addition. They're going to help him hold for that 4th base, and I can only hope that that's 11's plan. It's just kind of saturate up here. Because I think you're right. I think that if he doesn't prep now with economy, there's nothing he can do, because he needs to surprise his opponent a little bit. He needs to cut off reinforcement pathways, which is going to be increasingly difficult, especially with a War Prism on the field now. And how many?
And FireKlaw is moving out with the Adepts and the Archons. So this is actually pretty interesting because the Adepts do bonus damage to light units, and Hydras and Lings are light, but we have like and we have, but we have 8 lurkers though. That's the thing, and FireKlaw has no detection at all. So these attempts are going to get shredded. The Ford raid gets taken now, and FireKlaw is actually moving the Sport Crawler. He's moving his one person towards the main, but 2 Sport Crawlers and a Queen ward out that Warp Prism for now.
Excellent defensive play here. I would love to see some lurkers juggling forward, but, you know, 11's handling this extremely well, even manages to take out an observer, so those lurkers are going to be impossible. FireKlaw looking to kind of zone up for a drop here. He's going to move across the map, probably towards center, and then move over to the, I guess you would say, was that the third or fourth base?
But the lurkers are still over at 11's, I believe 11's 4th base. 11 is actually a bit low on the minerals right now, which is why he's making more drones. So let's see that drone count actually. It's actually roughly even now, 67 to 70, which is pretty good right now for 11. 11 is holding, but at the same time though, FireKlaw is getting out those immortals, and I believe that he also has a robotics facility. Yes, so he could actually go into disruptor production, which he's doing right now. Plus, Blink Stalkers are on the way, so FireKlaw looking to switch up his composition.
A lot of excellent tech switches happening here. The game is about to get really exciting if both players are able to get to where they want to go, especially with the introduction of, what do we have here, Infestors on the field. Oh, here we go, though. Disruptors.
Yeah, we have the Infestation Pit, the Hive, and yeah, we have 1 Infestor in the army. Wow. So with the Infestor, I hope to see maybe a Neuroparasite on the Disruptor. Oh my god, that Disruptor hit was insane. That Disruptor got 10 kills. It just killed off like 10. It killed off maybe like 6 Hydras and 4 Lings. To be honest, I have no clue, but 10 units is quite a bit, and the Zerg and Protoss right now are actually on even supply. FireKlaw pulling back. I'm not entirely sure why, because that's not really that many Hydras.
Yeah, he might have just been unable to kind of pay attention there. You know, he had a bit of a brief lapse in macros and probably jumping back there, but you're right, he could have gotten way more from that exchange. 11, of course, chasing because he needed to, and now we have Vipers on the field. This is what I want to see. Yeah. Vipers
are definitely key here to be able to abduct the Disruptors into the Lurkers, as well as big chunky units like the Archons and the Immortals. And we have a Charge Law attack coming in on the bottom left, but that gets dealt easily by the Spines. And FireKlaw is trying to push into the 4th base of the Zerg, but at the same time, the Lurk army is really holding strong. And that combined with the Vipers, it's going to be a tough break for this ground Protoss army.
Nice. A little bit of miss micro happening there.
Oh my god, that I thought that Disruptor shot was going to go off for sure. I was like, do you really want to do that? But wow, that was an insane abduct.
Yeah, that was one of the most beautiful abducts I've seen, actually.
Yep. We actually have, so FireKlaw is adding on 2 additional Stargates, so for a total of 3 Stargates, plus the Fleet Beacon is 2/3 ready, so FireKlaw is looking to go for that carrier transition against these Lurkers, but carriers are not out on the field, so that gives 11 a bit of a time to push and to snipe off, some Disruptors and. Oh my god, this is an insane fight. So the Disruptors got sniped by the Lurkers and the Hydras, but at the same time, all the Lurkers did go down. Oh my god, that last Disruptor hit was insane. It probably killed off like 12 Hydras, and 11 still has a standing army right here. But yeah, 2 Lurkers and 3 Hydras are not going to cut it versus the amount of Zealots and Immortals. Although, to be fair, there's a Viper, so you might be able to abduct that in. I tried to abduct it, but yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. Lurkers were a bit too far away for that.
You know what's funny
And
is
right now, and right now, 11 is thinking that he can sink the game right here, right now. He's making nothing but Hydras at this point. But at the same time, though, we do have 3 carriers on the way, and if the carriers get in time, and 11 is pulling back, so FireKlaw will have the time to have those 3 carriers out on the field, which are going to be massive versus right now the primarily Hydra comp of 11.
indeed those 3 starports producing areas. Such a beautiful switch, a needed switch too. You know, with that fight, every single disruptor shot except for the last one was waft essentially because the Vipers were doing such a good job at pulling the disruptors out of the fight. Um, Very impressive fight. Actually, throughout the entire thing, I really thought 11 was going to take it there and be able to do some economic damage or at least some production damage. But that one disruptor taking out what looked like 10 Hydras, remarkable.
Yeah. FireKlaw had 2 or 3 really amazing disruptor shots, which really made all the difference. Like if those shots did not hit, FireKlaw would have already GG'd and tapped out of the game as is. I actually look at the resources lost tab, and right now it's slightly in favor of 11 actually. Looks like FireKlaw is pulling back. I think that he kind of realizes that 3 carriers. So 11 I believe has around 20 Hydras. 20 Hydras versus 3 carriers. 3 carriers is not going to cut that. To be fair though, he is adding on more disruptors. So if the disruptors can pick out the Hydras and then the carriers can come in, that would actually be really good for FireKlaw.
This is a pivotal moment in the game for 11.
And it looks like 11 kind of tried to do a surround on the army, but FireKlaw with those amazing disruptor shots and the charge line positioning, he was able to really get a ton out of his army. But at the same time though, the wind flood is coming in. The carriers, I think, will eventually clean this up, but FireKlaw is going to sustain some damage right here. And oh my god, FireKlaw is actually plummeting his supply. He's like 90 supply down. This is crazy.
Oh man, a good game. 11 throwing out a bit of BM and just lifting his FireKlaw's disruptor at the end there. Incredible micro, very nice macro. That was a really fun game to cast. Wow.
For sure. The play on both sides by both 11 and FireKlaw. At first, I was kind of expecting 11 to be like a little bit behind, especially since for much of the game he was behind on workers. But 11 had some really good decision making. He knew more or less when to attack, when to pull back. FireKlaw was definitely hesitant in a few moments where he had the upper hand and he could have won, and he didn't take advantage of those opportunities. But I mean, either way though, the micro, the disruptors, the lurker positioning, getting at the carriers, the Viper abducts even, and on a few of like the big units such as the disruptors and the immortals. It's a crazy game. It was really enjoyable to cast.
Indeed. So thank you guys for watching. This has been a cast by Rudy and Zek Fusant. We'll be back in the future, so be sure to like and subscribe if you like the content and want to support us, and you'll find the links in the description to join our community. Hopefully some more awesome games in the future, Zek Fusant. Thanks for joining.
Yep, anytime, Rudy.